quitting his crappy old job literally saved his life. My man Steve writes in, and my voice is still kind of shot, so bear with me there, if you will. You know, I've heard, excuse me, I've heard stories like this 1,000 times. I heard them once, and they always get me emotional. I'm not crying, by the way. I do cry. I'm a big old baby, you know, but I'm not crying now. I'm actually pissed. Steve, the stress from his job, led to his divorce, first and foremost. All right, and that's just, he's got a kid, he's got 2 kids, no grandkids yet. What's the number one cause of divorce? Is financial stress, without question. I know there's, you know, pornography, I get all that. Financial stress is the number one cause of divorce, man. Anyway, so Steve, the stress from his job led to his divorce. I'd also argue, because Steve said this, since he quit his crappy old job, he's dropped 55 pounds. All right? So, you know, just think about it. If you're a lady and you wake up every day and your husband's 55 pounds overweight, you're probably not that attracted to him. And then he's all stressed out. And then, you know, there's going to be a lot of back and forth there, negativity, financial stress. You know, Steve knows he's carrying on too much weight. He's not attractive. You know, I don't know about his wife, and maybe she's, I don't know. But I just know none of this is good for a relationship, and none of this is good for your life. So he quits his crappy old job, loses 55 pounds. The stress is gone. He doesn't have grandkids yet, but now he's like, he emails me to thank me for allowing him to have the chance to potentially see some grandkids. So I got some clown, he didn't email me, he put on the comments about, Josh, you're wrong about retirement. He worked for Delta. He was, I just, the lack of logical thinking, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I've come to accept it, and I don't want to accept it, if that makes sense, because I can't believe educated men, or educated people, but men generally, because I'm a man, I can't believe they can't see this. Anyway, she said, I work for Delta Airlines, Josh, and I know 3 people who died, you know, 3 months after they retired. And of course, his conclusion, of course, is thus, their job allowed them to live because it gave them something to do. It made them have value in their life. And I'm sitting there just absolutely, it's such an absurd thing to say, but because, all right, let me just tell you why that's absurd thing to say. The lack of something important in their life, so their job basically gave them reason to be. That's absurd. That's absurd. That's it's narcissistic. If your job is the only thing that's keeping you around, you gotta freaking pull your head out of your behind and look around the world, because the world needs you. It needs you. You got no time to freaking sit there and say, oh man, my job's the only thing I have. The world needs you. Ah, so freaking narcissistic. Such a sign of the freaking West, the decline of the West. Oh man, everything revolves around me. But part 2 of this, the complete absurdity of it all, which I'll share with you now, is the idea that the job kept him alive. Maybe they quit their job because they had to. They were so stressed out that eventually it got to them. They had to quit their job because they could not perform anymore. And then the stress of their body led to their early demise after they worked. So this guy wants to say they quit, they died, thus quitting leads to death. And I'm like, no. No, the commonality is they worked. They worked and then died after they quit because the job led them to their death. The job didn't free them from death. The job led them there. And then finally they said, I can't do this anymore. I'm getting too overweight. I'm getting too stressed out. I got to quit. And by then it was too late. And then maybe so you tell me they were freaking happy-go-lucky at their crappy old job. 3 months later they said, man, life's too, I can't take it. And they quit. They died. No, that's not how it works. They weren't sitting there freaking healthy as an ox at the freaking crappy old job, but they decided to quit. And now 3 months later, they're dead. Now, that ain't how it works there, buddy. It's freaking so stupid. Yeah, I get no tolerance for this, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I used to have tolerance for the. I just don't anymore. I had a guy on my YouTube channel post a comment the other day. I freaking lit him up because I got no tolerance. There's not enough time to waste on idiots. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this guy says, oh, CO2, increase in CO2 leads to temperature. That's a proven factor or something along those lines. I was like, I just lit this guy. This is so freaking stupid. And the guy's like, and so when I lit him up, he wasn't expecting me to light him up because these people literally think we're dumb. So when I lit him up, he goes, oh, no reason to get cranky. I was just trying to seek another side of point of view. I said, no, you weren't. Look, dude, it's like I hear all the time, I voted for Reagan, but Mitt Romney is a bridge too far. We hear that all the time. I voted for Reagan, but John McCain, he's too far. I'm a Republican. It's just what Rush Limbaugh used to call seminar callers. I voted for Reagan, but I can't accept this John McCain. He's too right-wing. And we all know it's silly, and yet these people continue. And the same kind of thing. I just want to learn both sides of the argument. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You thought you're gonna shine this tidbit because you literally think that you're the smartest game in town, and you're not, man. Because you don't think. You have your blinders on, and then what he says is, well, the consensus says, the minute he said consensus, I just laughed. I laughed at him. Gotta laugh at these fools, man. I know it's fun. It feels good, actually. Relieve yourself of the thought of trying to get along with people who have no incentive at all, or intention, I should say, to get along. And just laugh at them. Laugh. It's funny because you see these debates among various, people who think are all that in a bag of chips, and then you realize, man, these people just aren't that bright, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like you almost wonder, are they being sent out here to, because they're just not that bright. And I don't care what kind of debate it is. It could be a flat Earth debate. You know what I'm saying? And literally. But you see the people debating against the flat Earth, you're like, oh, dude, that's not, those are bad arguments you're making against the flat Earth. There are lots of good arguments to make against the flat Earth, but some of these people are just like the Felix Baumgartner thing, or the NASA, the ISS live feeds. None of those are so infantile. If you're going to use those to beat back a flat earther, you're not, the round earthers aren't sending their best and the brightest. Let's just put it this way, because I'm like, no, come on, man. It's like, are you trying to get more people to become flat earthers? Because you're not sending your best and brightest. It's almost like a deliberate action. It's funny, man. I'm like, are you trying to get people? And same thing with this guy with the CO2 thing. I was like, dude, this is so infantile. Anyone who has been in this business of the debate about climate change can destroy your stupid thing on CO2 leading to temperatures. Now, I will say, all right, that does not mean I have the answer what causes higher temperatures or lower temperatures. I don't. But the idea CO2 increases CO2 leads to increase in higher temperatures is just so freaking blatantly silly on its face. To state that as a fact makes you a freaking maroon. It does. I will say ignorant, but this guy wasn't being ignorant. He was being a maroon because he doesn't know any better. And he thinks he's so smart. It's like, I'm so smart, I'm going to show this guy. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's kind of like the guy with 3 people I knew from Delta. When they quit their job, they died. Thus, quitting your job equals death. That's so idiotic. When I have anecdotal, I agree. Anecdotal evidence, i.e. people who have emailed me out of the blue. This isn't a con of mine. But evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence that says when I quit my stressful job, my life has got better. I've lost weight. I've got better shape. I've eaten healthier. My brain is functioning the way it's supposed to be. I might have saved my marriage. I might have literally saved my life. Anyway, it's have an attitude of gratitude, man. And if you sit there and say, oh, my world is empty now without a job, then you got it too good, dude. I don't want to hear any of that crap. That's the world, I don't want to hear it. There's nothing for me to do on this earth because my job was the only thing I had. Yeah, that's narcissism front and center. Everything revolves around you. Nope. I'd highly encourage you to get on your hands and knees. In this case, you're literally your hands and knees, not just your knees, your hands and knees, like the Muslims do, and seek guidance from above to recognize the world doesn't revolve around you. The world revolves around God. And God has a plan for you, man. And it ain't sitting there working your crappy little job to death. I don't know what it is, but your plan, you better find it before it's too late. All right, love your thoughts. Look at that. You see that? Look at those clouds. Look at that. I got nothing. Look at the beauty of that right there. You see that? I got nothing but the world needs you. God has expectations for you, man. All right, see ya.